So I'm a big fan of doing my own maintenance. And Yetti, on all their 2018 and newer houses, they use an easy Lube Hub System. And what that means for the guys that do their own maintenance like myself is you don't have to disassemble your whole hub assembly and repack the bearings. The system allows you to do that by simply hooking up a grease gun, and the spindle is tapped, which pushes the grease around to the back side and then forces the old grease out, instead of on some other systems where you're simply packing old grease on top of old grease, which is really more of a band-aid on a problem than a solution or a long-term maintenance fix. So what we're gonna go through today is, quite simply, show you guys how I get my wheelhouse ready for the winter season. So it's really simple to do the bearings. First, I start out, just get myself some rubber gloves because you are dealing with grease. You can do this project with either a manual grease gun or a powered one like I have here. A powered one does make it, a little bit simpler, a little bit quicker, but by any means, any old grease gun will work. The grease I am using is a high-end synthetic grease that is good down to 50 below zero. Quite simply, the tools we're gonna need is a grease gun, some type of putty knife or pry bar, and one small screwdriver, and then a large screwdriver place to put the old grease, and that is about it. So here's your hub right here. This is just a decorative cap, and I slide that putty knife in there, and just be careful with this. This is a part you don't want to scratch up, so just slowly kind of work it. It's not a race. Just get that to simply pop off. You're not prying it real hard. You don't want to break that plastic. And now this dust cap inside of the hub, that needs to get removed. So there's my little screwdriver, and I quite simply pop that in there, put my thumb on it, and remove that dust cap and set it aside. So now we're into the fun part where we actually get to start greasing the wheel bearing itself. I take my grease gun and I hook it on. Now as I turn this machine on, what's gonna happen is that old grease is gonna go to the back and push all the old grease out the front, and it's gonna come out right here. And as that old grease is coming out, I'm gonna slowly clean it off as it comes. And when I see the clean red grease start showing through, I know that my bearing repacking is done and I can move on to the next wheel. One of the most important points of doing this is getting full coverage. And by doing that, you have to spin the wheel in order to get that grease all the way around the bearings and the hub. So don't forget to spin the wheel while you're pumping grease to it. So we've already had a few inches of snow up in the northern area. Now is the perfect time to get this project done, guys, with deer hunting right around the corner and ice fishing, believe it or not, less than 5 to 7 weeks away.